Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog, Discord server, MeWe group, Facebook group, Twittering, and Instagram. So, alright, so a little follow-up, in a way, to yesterday's episode, I guess. Sort of. And really what it is, this time was a story about me. When I first started getting involved in the OSR, and I was commenting on blogs left and fucking right. I mean, I was active. I mean, yes, I'm active on Facebook now. I wasn't active on Facebook back then. Barely touched Google+. But one thing I had to learn, and this wasn't an easy thing for me, because I was new at the whole thing. I was new to the community, and I was new to the whole blogging thing, and the way I had the tavern set up at the time. This is before I had trolls coming over and people trying to just link bullshit in the comment section like on dead posts. But I used to be unfiltered. I didn't have moderation for the comments. You just commented and it went right up. That's what I did. I kind of expected everybody else to work on my type of timetable, right? Like that immediate gratification I wanted. And, I don't remember if it was the Chicago Wiz's blog or Rob Conley's blog, Bat in the Attic. It was one of those two. They had moderation on for the comments, and I put up a comment, and oh my God! And was my comment opinionated? Yes, it was. And 2 hours later, it wasn't up, and I sent a follow-up comment in Nastygram, figuring that I was being filtered. I was... my opinion was being censored. And they both got put through, and I was reminded that somebody had a life outside the blog that they were running. It was a polite reminder. I gotta give them credit, because I was full of piss and vinegar. I guess I still am, but I think in some ways I've mellowed with age. But my expectations of what Rob or Mike's, I guess, time frame, their scheduling and my immediacy did not match up. And for that, I didn't look great in the end. But, hey, here I am, probably 10 years later. I still fuck up, folks. I still do. So, what is the relevant point to this? Well, we can all learn, all right? And when you come into something, anything, there's a saying, and we've all heard it, right? There's your story, their story, and then there's the truth. No, because both stories can be the truth, and we forget that. Right? There's no such thing as, oh, well, that story is right and this story is wrong. No, they can both be right and they can both be wrong all at the same fucking time. It's a hard thing to learn. It's been an interesting couple of days. It's been a couple of days that have been fast moving, and on top of that, so there's an unboxing of the new upcoming Ravenloft release, which really isn't a new release. It's a re-release. Although I believe the Curse of Strahd. But it's a re-release with, was it the Vishanti no longer being the Vishanti that we knew, which was basically the Romani or the Gypsies with the serial numbers filed off. I don't know. What are we going to make them now? The Travelers? Right? We can't say Traveler, right? Here's the thing. Alright. When we make halflings or hobbits, right? Well, there's a certain perspective that we expect of them because of the source material. And most of our dwarves all talk with a Scottish brogue, and I can't do a fucking Scottish brogue for the life of me, so I'm not going to try. And elves are aloof, right? These are all things that we tend to rely upon. So now, like I said, there was an aspect to Ravenloft where, like gypsies, like the Romani, there was a nationality or a culture that traveled. They were travelers. They were kind of nomadic, right? And when you're nomadic, people assume that you're not trustworthy because you don't have roots. So now they've had to go and change this to some extent because it was a bad stereotype of the Romani. Okay. So this is a fairly recent release. This is a 5th edition D&D release. So then, Greyhawk Grognard, Joel Block, on his blog, posted up that, well, this is only the first step to further revisions. And yes, we know there are going to be further revisions, at least of the 5e stuff. Here's the thing, all right? They're not reprinting the old stuff. They are printing on demand the classic releases. They are not reprinting or reissuing I don't know, G123 is not being reissued. It might be by Goodman Games, where they make it into a 5e hardcover for $50 with a reprint of the original adventure, but they're not taking it and they're not going to go in and say, oh, we don't like this portrayal of hill giants and we got to change it. No. That's too much work, and you're not going to make money off that revision. Reissuing the Ravenloft release as a collector's edition, limited box set, yada, yada, yada. You're going to get people who already have the original buying into the new, and then you're justifying by saying, well, we revised it. No. With the old stuff, they're not going to revise shit. If they decide it's offensive, they will pull it from the market. Now, do they have that right? Of course they do. Of course they do. It's their IP, right? It's their intellectual property. They can sell it or not as they see fit. Is that a form of censorship? I would say so. Not legally, but morally. Yeah. Yeah, morally that's a form of censorship. The slippery slope has begun. There's got people out there going, oh, yeah, you and you other fucking old farts, you don't fucking know shit. You're worried about this stuff. Who cares? I care. I care about the authenticity and the integrity of gaming. You know, it's like history. Just because you don't necessarily like an event doesn't mean that you write it out of history. You know, what do they say about history? Those that forget history are doomed to repeat it. Well, if Wizards of the Coast goes back and whitewashes the era of TSR to some extent, then the disclaimer's already kind of started that. Then yeah, we risk repeating it. I know. There's people just drop this fucking. Who gives a fuck? Well, the old timers don't give a fuck. They don't worry about these. Who cares about the reprints? Who cares about the print on demand? Who cares about the PDFs? Well, you know what? I don't want to take out my originals to refer to them. I like to refer to the PDFs. And I like to think that people coming into the hobby can purchase PDFs and not have to go to, I don't know, the dark web, torrents and stuff, and illegally download it. That would be morally wrong, right? I think that most censorship is also morally wrong, whether it's illegal censorship or not. So, just my perspective on things, folks. Just my perspective. All right, folks, as I have been telling you now for the longest time, we are in COVID world. I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I'm going to just say take the actions that you need to keep yourself, your family, your community, your friends safe. Follow a medical advice that you can find out there. And I know some of it is contradictory, even from the medical professionals. I don't know what to tell you that. As always, I beseech you to be safe. Be well. God bless. Roll those dice. And I will talk with you all mañana. God willing. Laters.